The earlier that you let go of the vain pleasures of this world, the vain pleasures of this life, the meaningless pleasures that present itself every single day to us, I'm telling you, that's what you need in order to get ahead. You just naturally, just boom. Once you get rid of that mentality and you turn away from that mentality, boom, you've already just got ahead of pretty much just everybody. You have to start now. Like it's so big to start now. I'm telling you, your life will transform when you get out of the mindset of, oh, I'm gonna put it for tomorrow, I'm gonna put it for the next day, I'm gonna put it for next week, right? When you focus on making changes right now and you start doing stuff right now to change your future tomorrow and then the week after that, I'm telling you, that's when you're actually going to see changes, when you start to make a conscious effort, a conscious decision to change what you're doing. And the best way for you to be able to accomplish that early on is going to be getting on semen retention. Why is that? Because semen retention, the main thing that semen retention is going to teach you how to control your emotions. It's going to teach you how to control yourself when you're stressed, when you're frustrated, when you feel lonely, when you feel sad, when you feel angry. It's going to teach you emotional regulation. That's one of the biggest benefits that you're going to receive on semen retention, is knowing how to control yourself and knowing how to stop yourself from doing certain actions and partaking in certain habits that you know don't serve you, that you know ain't propelling you, ain't doing you no good. For example, being on the websites, right? There's nothing, I've never gained anything from being on the websites. It has not contributed to my improvement at all. Matter of fact, it's probably taken away from it. And again, when you're on semen retention, you're going to start to make that conscious decision of, okay, this is not serving me anymore, because the realization that you have to come to, and that you're going to come to no matter what on semen retention, is that the urges don't go away. The temptations don't go away. The desires never go away. You just get stronger. You learn how to deal with them better. So that's definitely the number one benefit that you're going to have when it comes to semen retention, and why it's so important to build that in your early 20s, because you don't want to be 30, 40 years old and you still don't know how to control yourself. Like, you look crazy, you know what I'm saying? You're out here wilding out, you know what I'm saying? Out here tweaking, because you still haven't learned emotional regulation and you don't know how to control yourself. And God forbid, now you're getting yourself into bad situations, right? Because you never know who you could run across. You may run across another hothead and they do something hothead, and now it's two hotheads going at it, and that never ends well, right? And then before you know it, somebody get killed, somebody gets hurt, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, it's so important to build that from an emotional standpoint, especially because as a man, you have to know how to control your emotions. You have to know how to deal with them. And that dealing with them doesn't mean just throwing them away and, you know what I'm saying, not handling them, right? That's just as dangerous as not handling your emotions, is just as dangerous as letting them run freely. You have to learn some type of moderation, some type of balance. You have to know when to handle your emotions, when to take them on, and you have to know when to put them away. That's very important as a man. You have to know when you need to put your emotions in front of you and deal with them, and when you need to put them to the side. So that's definitely important when it comes to semen retention, because it's just going to propel you above a lot of men, because a lot of men don't have sexual discipline. A lot of men don't have discipline in general, but especially when you talk about something like sexual discipline. And the main reason why is because it's just looked down on. Like, when you get on semen retention, and even for the people who are on semen retention, if you are on semen retention, you get comments like that, let me know down below, man. Let's get a conversation going. But a lot of times people have told me, especially when I was first starting, oh, it's all about you don't get no hoes, and you don't get no play, you don't get none. Like, people, they just think about the carnality of it, just the carnal minded. So many people are just carnal minded. They think about semen retention and they only think that it's just about holding in your nut. Like, that's all that it is to it. And that's why they look so down upon it. That's not the truth, guys. The truth is that, yes, from the physical standpoint, all you're doing is holding on to your seed. But from the spiritual standpoint, you're gaining discipline. You're gaining self-discipline. You're gaining self-control. And I'm telling you, self-control is one of the most undervalued skills that you could have, especially in today's world. It's going to give you one of the biggest edges, because a lot of men, they don't even focus on it. So When you build that self-control on semen retention, it's just going to give you more motivation, because now you're actually taking control of yourself. You're going to feel like you're taking control of your life, because you're no longer going to be on, whatever website you use, or you're no longer texting up that girl, or that's just wasting your time and wasting your energy. She's just draining you. You're actually focusing on something, and that's just going to give you the motivation. It's going to give you the mental clarity, because you're no longer worried about, when you're going to get indulged into your next pleasure every single 5 minutes. You can actually sit down and actually focus on something and stay single-minded on your purpose. If you're watching this video and you're 18, 19, 20 even, I'm telling you, now is the time to really start getting serious, because these next couple of years of your life are going to go like this, especially if you're working a job, or you're in college, or you're doing something that is heavily consuming your time. I'm telling you, life is going to start ramping up, and you're just going to be like, whoa, what's going on? And I'm telling you, you don't want to get to the point to where now you're in a situation where you're shell-shocked, and you have to try to figure out all these different questions of life pretty much rapidly, because you were wasting time on pleasure. You were wasting time on vain things that weren't serving you. And now the time has come for you to actually put something together and make something of your life, and you don't know what you want to do. I'm telling you, that's one of the worst feelings that you can have. And that's why I do the best I can to be an example for the people around me, like even guys my age that may be a little bit older than me, because I know there are some people who watch me that are older than me, but especially for the younger guys. Because I'm telling you, life is difficult. And the only reason why my life isn't super, super difficult, or it's not super, super challenging, is because I knew from a young age what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go and what I needed to do to get there. And that's what you need to understand about goals and setting goals, is you need to know first what you want, and you need to figure out after that where you are right now. So you need to know what you want to do, where you want to go, right? Like if it's being a YouTuber, right? Okay, I want to be like whoever YouTuber you envision. Or if you want to be a dancer, or you want to be a rapper, right? You need to figure out what it is that you need to do first. And then you need to figure out how far away are you from actually achieving that goal. And then what you need to do is you need to figure out what you need to do in order to get to where you want to. But I'm telling you, you need to know those two things first. A lot of people, they don't even put in the time to figure out either one of them, right? Where they want to go, or where they are. Or if they do know where they want to go, they're not true with themselves. They're not realistic with themselves about where they actually are. And that distorts their perception, and it makes it to where it makes it a lot harder for them to actually achieve their goals, because they don't have the right picture. But being on semen retention is going to give you that picture, because you're going to just naturally take your mind off of the physical things. Like a lot of the things that you see in this world are physical, right? Everybody is so run down about sex. I mean, it's like I can't go on Instagram. I can't go on Twitter. I don't even have Twitter. I hear so much stuff about Twitter. It's like I don't even want to deal with Twitter. I hear it'd be straight corn going on Twitter. But it's like I can't go on any of these social media apps, and there's not some type of like sexual ad, some type of OnlyFans model, some type of just, lust. Just vanity, just vain stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just all carnal. So you got to understand that that's what majority of men are doing. 99.9% of men cannot control their lust. They can't control themselves sexually. So when you are able to, number one, when you start to focus on building that sexual discipline, and on top of that, you actually start to master yourself. Like once you actually start to, number one, discover who you are on semen retention, and then you start to master that person, bro, I'm telling you, that's the easiest way to get ahead of pretty much everybody. Because nobody even blinks an eye at it. Like everybody, like if you say semen retention to somebody, they're gonna be disgusted by it, because everybody just looks down on things like that, because they think wrong of it. A lot of people don't understand that if you want to get to any place of greatness, if you want to get to any level of greatness in life, you have to do things that you don't want to do. It's not about doing what you want to do. This life is not about what you want to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you want to get somewhere for real, you're going to have to do a lot of things that force you to come out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to do a lot of things that push you and they irk at you, and they kind of give you this feeling of like, you know what I'm saying? That's good. Don't run away from that feeling. I'm telling you. There are going to be a lot of times on semen retention to where you're going to be very uncomfortable, whether it's that, you know what I'm saying, you're experiencing an urge, you're going through some type of temptation. I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to want to give in. But understand that every time that you overcome that temptation, you are becoming stronger, right? There's a Bible verse, I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. But it says, blessed is the man who endureth temptation, because once he has been tried, he will receive the crown of life. So the Bible literally says, yo, you are blessed. You are blessed when you endure temptation. You will receive a blessing. Know that God is looking at you, and know that you are gaining that spiritual favor with God when you are doing these things. And again, semen retention is about the spiritual. If you're not focused on God, on semen retention, you're not focused on your spiritual, your mental, and building the things that are not physical, the things that can't be seen, because those are the things that are actually eternal, fam, you're not on semen retention for the right reasons. But I'm telling you, if you are on semen retention for the right reasons, just know you're going to be great. Know you are going to be great. Know you are doing the right thing. I don't care what anybody is telling you. If you are practicing discipline, self-discipline to any level, especially as a young man in your 20s, it don't matter if you're 21 or you're 29, you're doing the right thing. Even if you're a little bit older, right? You're in your 30s, 35, whatever. As long as you're on semen retention, know you're doing the right thing. Know that you find favor, not only in just the universe, not only with just in life, and not only will you find favor in life, but you will ultimately find favor with God. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is having that connection with God. And it's so important to you, especially as a man, with your mental health, because as a man, you're not going to have a lot of emotional outlets. You're not going to have a lot of supporters. The only person that is really going to love you unconditionally as a man is your mom. And the sad reality is, for some men, that's not even that. So you have to have that relationship with somebody as a man that you know that this person is going to love you unconditionally. And the best example of that is God, because God never leaves. He never leaves you. He never forsakes you. So that's what I would say, man. If you want to find your purpose, get on semen retention and really build a relationship with yourself ultimately, because it's about finding your purpose. And your purpose, I'm telling you, your purpose is deep within you. Your purpose is not, in these clubs. Your purpose is not with that girl that is just draining your energy. I'm telling you, it's not there. Your purpose is within you, and you need to isolate. You need to extract yourself from a lot of the pleasures, a lot of the distractions that are going on in your life, for you to really be able to find that, because that's the only way I was able to find that, right? I'm telling you, most of the time I be by myself, right? And I'm okay with that. I'm elevating, you know what I'm saying? Like, God, when it's time for you to elevate, you're going to be isolated. You have to, because you have to have room for things to grow. Like, when you're thinking about a plant, you can't just put a plant in a whole bunch of bushes and stuff. It has to have room to grow. So you have to isolate it to a degree in order to give it the room that it needs to grow. And I'm telling you, when you're on semen retention, you have a lot of room for growth. You have a lot of potential. You have a lot of potential, and you understand that. And I'm telling you, you are different. You are rare. You are gold. You get what I'm saying? Hone in on that, especially now when you're young. Now is the time to get ahead. A lot of people are looking down on you right now, and I know that they may be talking down on you. They may say their things to give you little negative comments, but I'm telling you, 10, 15 years down the line, they're going to be looking at you, and they're going to be like, man, I wish I would have been on that. I wish I would have been on that type of time. And not even just on semen retention, but I wish I would have been on that type of mentality. It's your mentality that makes you different. It's your mentality that's going to stand out. And I'm telling you, the earlier that you catch on to that, the earlier that you let go of the vain pleasures of this world, the vain pleasures of this life, the meaningless pleasures that present itself every single day to us, I'm telling you, that's what you need in order to get ahead. You just naturally, just boom. Once you get rid of that mentality and you turn away from that mentality, boom, you've already just got ahead of pretty much just everybody. When you're on semen retention, you don't want to just be holding on to your energy. You want to make sure that you're transmuting your energy, right? I always talk so much about how transmutation is so important. It's the number one key to your success on semen retention. The best way for you to transmute that energy into success is, again, to write out your goals, right? You need to be diligent. You need to be diligent, right? Proverbs 10 verse 4 says that the diligent, right, the hands of the diligent bring forth a profit, right? But haste leads to poverty. Something like that. I don't know if I quoted it exactly. I'm going to leave the verse so y'all can get it. But that's what it says basically, is that if you want to bring forth something in your life, you have to be diligent. You have to stay busy. And that's especially important on semen retention, is making sure that you're staying busy, staying up with your goals, right? Have a purpose, have a single life purpose, a single desire for yourself that above all else that you're going to chase each and every single day, because you need that. Because I'm telling you, like I said, the urges, the temptations, the desires are not going anywhere. The only thing that's going to keep you from going back to your old lifestyle is if you're in pursuit of a new one. So you need to be pursuing that new life every single day. And if you're not, it's going to be so easy, too easy for you to go back to your old life. So you need to make sure that you're chasing something each and every single day. And the best way for you to do that is have some type of goals about you. And that's how you're just naturally just going to get ahead. All right. What's another way that you could transmute your energy on semen retention? Another great way for you to really figure out who you are on semen retention and to transmute that energy into something that's going to be positive is by journaling. I know this is not the most common, most practical thing to be saying, but I'm telling you, if you guys really want to figure out why you are the way that you are and why you do the things that you do to a scientific level, you need to be journaling. You need to be taking the thoughts that go through your head every single day, good or bad, right? Good or bad, and you need to figure out why you're thinking that, right? Especially like with your triggers, especially like when you relapse, because you are going to relapse, right? Relapses are a part of the journey, but those are the times that you need to be focusing the most on. Okay, why did I relapse? What led me to doing the same thing? What led me back to there? Was there a certain trigger? Was there a certain emotion that I was feeling? Like me personally, like when I fall short, most times than not, it's because I'm stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's from just my job or just other things that are going on in my life, or I'm frustrated, whether it's because like I want to post content. There are a lot of times where I really do want to post content, but I just can't figure out what to record, or I just get really frustrated, or I just start getting really over obsessive with a lot of the details that it leads me into frustration. So whatever that is for you, whatever those emotions and those thoughts may be for you, I'm telling you, it's essential that you put it on a piece of paper so that you can go back and review it and you can see it. And after a while, you'll start to pick up on it, so that when it pops up again, because it's going to pop up, it doesn't pop up with a warning, right? You don't get urges and desires with a warning. It comes out of nowhere. But when those temptations and those desires, they come out of nowhere, you'll be better prepared for it. And not even just journaling as far as relapses, but it also goes as deep as to journaling with your progress, right? Because even when you're chasing goals, like how I said, it's important to chase your goals. If you're not keeping progress with your goals, it's going to be easy for you to, number one, feel like you're not making any progress. And then number two, because you feel like you're not making any progress, you're going to want to give up. It's going to be that part of you that's going to say, oh, I'm not making any progress and this isn't working and I might as well just quit. Like, this is dumb. But you have to understand that, and you will understand if you keep going on semen retention, that your brain and our brains, just as humans, are naturally wired to resist change. So you're going to have a lot of moments where you're going to want to revert back to your old self. And it's also important to make sure that you're not trying to change too fast. Make sure to take it one day at a time, but also don't try to, rush yourself. But at the same time, you need to make sure that you're staying up with yourself. You need to make sure that you're holding yourself accountable, right? That's one of the biggest things. The biggest things that I would say that you would get from semen retention is, number one, it's going to make you accountable, because you're going to start to realize once you start to really get on semen retention, you're going to realize that when you do fall short, when you do back off of the things that you said you were going to do, right? Like you said you were going to retain, and you go back to your old ways, you're going to realize that nobody is pushing you to that except for you. And that's going to make you be a lot more accountable. That's going to make you take up a lot of accountability. That's one thing that a lot of people don't have, is accountability. So that's one thing that separates you. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I need you to go ahead and like the video. Make sure to subscribe for more semen retention videos, and make sure to comment and let me know what day y'all on, how y'all thought about this video, what y'all think about it, and let me know what other ideas that y'all may have for me. I love y'all, and I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.